Welcome back to Absolutely Marvel in DC. I'm Benny. That's Sal. That is, what is your name? What is your name, Super Hair Man?
Jeff.
Best hair guy ever, Jeff. That is Jeff down below. Jeff the Hair Man. Me, Sal, and Jeff are going to talk about the theory that Sal threw out there. What is it, Sal?
The Sharon Carter theory. I think Sharon Carter is a Skrull.
That would make all of her motivations make sense.
Why,
Now,
she's basically just a different character.
the Skrulls are good guys, though, in the MCU. So how do
Yes.
you explain
Are
that?
all of them, though?
But we are getting a show called Secret Invasion.
It's the secret invasion of the Skrulls and into media, and they're like making fun commercials for everyone.
Yeah, it's stealth marketing. That's really what they mean. No, I think that Secret Invasion is going to be that there's like I think it's going to be similar. Like, they've already cast Emilia Clarke in Secret Invasion. By the way, I'm thinking it's Vernecki. I think people are
I was
saying
gonna say that
Yeah.
that is like a she's that her whole Vernecki's like whole thing is that she's a different like group of Skrulls, like zealots that
she's a
came
religious
to take
fundamentalist who believes that the Earth is promised to the Skrulls, that like the Skrulls deserve it. Again, of course, because of the post-Fox merger, everything, or acquisition, I should say. It's not a merger. Merger implies friendly, collaboration, but Galactus can be a factor, is my point. Hell, there could actually, we could say for the last 5 to 25 years, Captain Marvel has been helping to relocate the Skrulls to a new world. They get it. Galactus eats it, and the fragmented group of them are they seek solace with a religious fundamentalist banished woman named Vernecki, who then takes them back to Earth, or had been doing that for the last 10, 15 years.
I want to throw into your theory because I like to take from video games and why they're announcing certain characters.
Yes.
Recently, Sideshow just announced a new Galactus statue.
Yeah.
That will be released June 2022 until August 2022.
Okay.
Now, now, Sideshow does like to do things that they find cool. I've had a talk with them where I've been like, why are you making a Swamp Thing thing? And they're like, we like Swamp Thing. And then a Swamp Thing
looks
show
cool.
got announced. Yeah. But why would they do a Galactus statue?
Right. Besides the fact that he's awesome looking and that he'd be very impressive on your shelf, I can imagine it's because they're thinking about introducing Galactus, which is a good idea. He's the most logical next big bad or even just Guardians of the Galaxy antagonist that you can introduce. But as such,
we've got the Fantastic Four on the way.
Yeah. I just linked you guys the image of the Galactus Sideshow
he looks
statue.
great. And he looks different.
It just struck me as such a weird one to announce because you know what they just came out with recently that was timed right around a year ago and they announced it? X-Men statues. Like
Interesting.
There is, listen, the Captain America Winter Soldier show dropped around the exact same time that we saw a Hasbro Marvel Legends show accurate action figure. I think like today they just announced the entire slew of Disney Plus Marvel shows have Hasbro Marvel Legends figures equivalents as well. So it's like the brand synergy, my point is there.
Yeah.
Like, they don't just go, wow, we're making a Wolverine show. We should have a bunch of Wolverine stuff out. They know that is happening before they even cast.
They planned it way in advance. Look at the debates that happened with the Comic-Cons where they were like, we made all this merch and now we have nowhere to put it.
Exactly. But getting back to the theory, I'm thinking, I just thought that like the Sharon Carter thing was so like kind of obvious in a way where they're like, who's the power broker? Oh, coincidentally, also here's Sharon Carter, and she seems kind of totally cool with being on the run from everybody for the last like 5 or 6 years.
And
like,
she found her in Madripoor, where the power broker's located.
Right, like I'm only committing like white collar crime. Like I'm selling, like fakes or masterpieces. Like I'm not like killing people or anything. And then immediately she's like, oh no, but I am definitely killing people though. And it's like, why would Sharon Carter who is now definitely related to Steve Rogers. Why would she? Why would she care?
I didn't even think of that.
Right. Why would she be so bad? Like, why would she be so quick to be like, yeah, no, I didn't get my pardon like 3 other characters did, so what the hell? I guess I'll be a bad guy from now on. Like, it just seems kind of like a real sudden heel turn, and I feel like it's
I wonder about
flimsy.
that pardon, though. I wonder, no, in all honesty, this is an actual thing. They instantly gave her one at the end of Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yes, they did.
So why wasn't she given one earlier? Why did this even get to this point? Why was it never brought up? That your Skrull theory holds a lot of weight, because if the Skrulls took Carter and weren't quite sure how to get back over that, Sharon Carter would have known who to contact to get a pardon at least started to be worked on.
Right? Yeah, no, they swapped her out like at the end of Civil War.
Yeah.
Or the middle of Civil
sense.
War, they grabbed her, they swapped her out, they put her in Madripoor. They're like, she has enough pull as a character to make underworld contacts. They create an infrastructure in Madripoor, because of course Secret Invasion is all about how they like put a Skrull in every institution, right? In every team, in every state, in every organization, SHIELD, Hydra, everywhere, Skrulls. That would lend itself to a kind of like sudden cool moment. Remember like when actually in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when they were like, hey, Hydra actually was in charge of everything, flip a switch, look at all the places where there were Hydra agents, you know?
Yeah.
Do the same thing or something similar where they're like, actually there were Skrulls all over the place, and you could kind of do a fun callback to being like, yeah, during the commotion during Thor Dark World, we swapped out Darcy, you know, like, hey, during this thing.
No, Darcy is a sweet angel, and she will not be a Skrull. She will not be a Skrull.
Jimmy Woo could be a
and
Skrull.
Darcy are going to be the ones that find them. That's what's going to be.
Peter Parker's principal could be a Skrull. Ned could be a Skrull.
No!
Oh, God.
Don't take
Why
Ned
would they
from
swap
me!
Ned?
Why would they take Ned?
Why indeed? Well, I don't know. Maybe because he's best friends with a guy who has literal access to bespectacled orbiting satellite weapon systems. Maybe that's why.
They're not supposed to know that, though.
Right, but like they're Skrulls. They already found that. I mean, like, listen, 17 different disgruntled Stark employees knew that.
That's fair. That's a solid point. Well, I guess everyone knows that now.
Well, everyone should know who Peter Parker is, because he didn't wear his mask during the entire fight for the survival of humanity. So, you know.
And
wore
Mysterio
it a
told
lot.
everyone.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And there's that big reveal at the end.
Yes.
Yes, I forgot about that. I'm still mad. I'm still mad about that. Anyway,
We'll see if they do something interesting with it.
But
I
no,
hope so.
I'm actually on board, because now that she has, she is a Skrull, explains the turn on her personality, explains why she kind of went a little more evil instead of just making like one phone call to be like, hey, you guys like pardoned the Russian assassin. Can I be pardoned for hanging out with Steve Rogers? Like,
how come Batroc the Leaper has dental and I'm living in Madripoor?
I think there's definitely something going on with her character. They're gonna have to, if it's not like she's a Skrull or she's being brainwashed or something, they're gonna have to like write the hell out of whatever speech is gonna make her motives seem clear, and Emily Van Camp is going to have to act her way out of a hole.
And that's gonna be tough, because I don't think she's that great.
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't seen her in anything other than MCU stuff, and they really haven't given her much.
No.
So far. This is the most she's gotten in Falcon and Winter Soldier, and it's not enough of her like being clearly the power broker and clearly acting as something interesting. She's still kind of relegated to a very, very side character in this show.
Agreed. Yeah.
but it also actually, to go with your theory, it also the tagger, where she walks out, she's got her power, and she's like, yeah, give up powers, get more stuff. All of that would line up perfect with Secret Invasion, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, if we don't see her again until Secret Invasion, or once they announce the cast for Secret Invasion, she's on it. You're right. You win. You have won the internet.
And that's why I'm doing it. That's why I'm doing it.
Contessa Valentina did say things were about to get weird, and a Skrull invasion would be pretty weird.
Pretty weird. Although it would be the third alien invasion in less than a decade for the Marvel universe.
That's like my concern with Secret Invasion as a whole. If they do it like accurate to the comics in some way, obviously they can't do it accurate because Spider-Woman isn't around, and most of the characters aren't around.
Are you sad about that?
No, I do not want a live action Spider-Woman.
Oh,
I
why
think
not?
they'll ruin her. I think the one time I was mildly okay with it was when she was rumored to be in Far From Home as a SHIELD agent. I was like, okay, that's different enough to where they can't ruin her.
Right.
But she would immediately then go, I also have a spider costume.
I mean, now she'd be a sword agent because, like, she was a member of sword.
That's like I would be okay with it if they do it right. I'm just worried that they're gonna tie her too close to Spider-Man.
Yeah, me too.
Which is, everything
Sacrilege.
That's wrong with Spider-Woman is this like, oh, that's a Spider-Man character, right?
I mean,
no, she's
in the
an Avenger.
defense of Sony and the MCU, she wasn't attached during Spider-Verse. They picked an actual Spider-Woman.
good.
I am
and put her in.
shocked that she wasn't in
Right.
Spider-Verse, and I'll be very surprised if she's not in Spider-Verse too. But
Yeah.
anyway.
But the point I was making is that we've seen, if you've watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you have seen the we don't know who to trust plot line a million times.
Oh,
And
totally.
in the MCU
Every
itself.
season. If you watch
every
Flash
season.
on CW for the first
Right.
6 seasons, it's been we don't know who to trust on the team.
Here's
Yeah.
the thing. My theory, this video is not about whether I think it's a good idea to do Secret Invasion
Sure.
at all.
You just think
It's
that's happening.
I think because they announced it before they had a script or a cast, and the fact that this show came out and Sharon Carter is such a weird element to put in. She's at the end. She has a big like graffiti art thing at the end credits of every episode, despite the fact she's only in 3 of them. Like, it just seems like they really pushed her really hard for her to not do anything all that exciting or interesting, only for them then to have the reveal that she's a bad guy too. And it's like, it just seems like a lot of
Yeah.
Sharon Carter, but without a lot of Sharon Carter. What are you doing? And then they said, oh, Emilia Clarke's going to be in Secret Invasion. It's like, oh, you're working on this. Like, you're working on this now. You're laying the groundwork. You want to surprise us with some stuff. Okay. I'm thinking, here's my first theory.
I mean, your theory works because why would they announce Emilia Clarke is on board and tie it like a Secret Invasion cast?
Yeah,
and
why
then
would they say that
convene it-
around the same time Falcon and Winter Soldier's coming out? Why would
Right.
they wait, you know?
I'm on board. You've convinced me, Sal.
Thank you. Well,
I think they're definitely setting up something,
Yeah.
and it makes a lot of sense that it would be Secret Invasion. Like, it's interesting because I don't think did we get like, because I know they had like that graph or whatever that was like WandaVision leads into Doctor Strange, which leads into Spider-Man 3.
right.
Do we have that for Falcon and Winter Soldier? I don't think we do.
I don't know. I haven't seen. I've only heard of this chart. I've never actually seen it in person, so I'll have to check it out. But I have not heard anything about it. In fact, I think that just the announcement that the Captain America 4 is coming is like the only indication that Falcon Winter Soldier
Right.
is like relevant. Because I think the idea was Falcon Winter Soldier was supposed to come out first, and then WandaVision, and it was like because Falcon Winter Soldier's like, cool, look at these guys kicking ass and taking names. New Captain America, moving on. WandaVision, okay, but WandaVision's going into Doctor
now
Strange,
we're getting
into
started.
Spider-Man, et cetera, et cetera. And it's more like Captain America / Falcon Winter Soldier was going to lead into something like, I don't know, Black Widow maybe.
Yeah, which who knows? Like,
I hope it
is-
does, because I don't want I don't want Black Widow to just be kind of like random.
I still think it's
going
going
to
be
be.
random. Yeah.
I'd be okay with it being standalone. I'm like that's kind of how I'm liking like MCU stuff recently. It's just
Yeah.
kind of they're leading into stuff and they're setting things up, but it's not as clear cut as like Thanos shows up at the end of this movie. It's more like here's some characters that are still on the playing field and we don't know where they're gonna go.
Right.
And that's more interesting than like, you see Thanos at the end of the Avengers and you're like, oh, okay. They're going to do that at some point. We know
Yeah.
exactly where this is heading.
Right, and then
Yeah.
10 years later they do, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
like
10 years
well,
later.
what movie was it where he goes, "Fine, I'll do it myself" in
Age of
another
Ultron.
in another 7 or 8 years.
Right.
Like, oh,
That
good,
did take way too long for that setup.
that was too much, man. Like, I'm glad you cast him and everything, but like, still. So I yeah, as long as we're just
Poor
yeah, this
Josh
is-
Brolin. It was like
I
10
know.
years.
He got a couple
He was
projects
Cable
between there.
before he was Thanos. Like,
No, he was. I think he played. I think no, he was Thanos.
He was
but-
Thanos in Guardians.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
yeah, and in that stupid teaser.
All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's theory. Every week you're going to get a new one right here at Absolutely Marvel and DC. So please be sure to check back. If you want to support this channel, consider hitting that subscription button right down below. Hit like on the video. We're not supposed to say that anymore to YouTube, but I just did it out of habit of doing this for 8 years. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your support. I'm Benny. That's Sal. That's Jeff. We'll see you guys next time right here.
Jeff.